Oh, that's fun. You see my colored pencils in the background, but that's okay. Okay, so just gonna get comfortable in here. See who comes in. I got here a little early just to make sure everything looked good. See my highly sophisticated background. Good stuff. All right, just gonna get comfortable in here, see who shows up. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see, so far, I know that Wayward Nerd said she would be here. I think somebody else said they'd be here too. So just gonna move this around just a second. That's fun. So, oh no, I don't want that. Put you right there so I can see the chat. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully they'll hear me. Oh, look, there's Wayward Nerd. Hi, Wayward Nerd. Yay. This is exciting. I'm so excited to do this. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes to see who else shows up. Hopefully other people will. And then we'll get to talking. I'll talk about how I picked my username. Okay, good. You can hear me. Yay. Talk about how I picked my username. I've got some talking points right here. So if I keep looking down, that's why. Talk about my username, talk about how I got started writing, that kind of stuff. So probably should post on Twitter that I'm live right about now. That'd be pretty cool. So don't tweet that out real quick. We are live. Okay. Oh, no, that's my email. Oh, and this is my phone, by the way. I have Pinkie Pie pop socket, and I have the anti-possession symbol over my over the Apple logo. So we are live now. Let's see. So, and I wore my Scooby Natural shirt today in honor of the occasion. So there we go. So it's going to be that one or the my fandom will salt and burn your fandom. So, but I wanted to stick with this one because it's got some more colors. Let's see, my Tumblr. Let everybody know we're here. Right now. Okay. So I guess I can get started with my name. My actual first name is Kelly. So, and I've said that I think before in a questionnaire, one of those questionnaires that I filled out. So yes, my first name is Kelly. Let's see. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I was born and raised. That's where I live right now. And this is where my family is. This is where my husband's family is. So, so yeah, we're all pretty close, and we live with my parents, who I've mentioned. Hi, Kat. My parents that I've mentioned a couple times in my posts. Mama and Papa Weston are my parents. So, and let's see, we can talk about how I picked my username, Lady Winchester, which I'm very fond of. I picked that because I was playing this game. It's an app. It's called Covet Fashion, and it's really, really fun. Like, if you've never played it, like, try that out. Anyway, so I had to come up with a username, and this is when I had first really gotten into Supernatural. And oh, you live in Atlanta too? Awesome, that's great. Oh yeah, so my username, and I was like, oh, I want to do something supernatural, but I don't want to do like Mrs. T. Winchester, because I feel like everybody does stuff like that. So I was like, what sounds cool? And I was like Queen Winchester, and put myself up on a little bit of a pedestal. So we'll go with Lady Winchester. And I was like, well, I'd like to use numbers too. So what's the year of the Impala? 1967. So that's how it came up, as Lady Winchester 1967. So I'm quite fond of that name. That's my name across all my social media. So if you ever see that, it's probably me. I'm not gonna lie, especially with the Powerpuff Girl avatar. That's the word I was looking for. But she looks exactly like me, if you can't tell. And let's see. How and when I got started writing. I've been writing since I can remember. I started when I was probably 11 or 12, and maybe even younger than that. And I was writing fan fiction before I knew what fan fiction was. The first kind of fan fiction I remember writing was Sailor Moon based, and I printed it out and gave it to my mother as a Mother's Day present that year. And so it took off from there. And after Sailor Moon came wrestling, and that consumed my life for a good majority of it. I mean, I don't watch it anymore, but I used to. I came in kind of in the late 90s and early 2000s, so it was like right there in the Attitude Era. So if you've heard of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, let's see, who are some other big ones? Rhino, and the Hardy Boys were mine. Matt and Jeff Hardy, and Lita and their team, which was Team Extreme. So, and Lita's also part of the reason I'm a redhead now. So, but yeah, that was my jam. So I was writing Jeff Hardy fan fiction when I was 12 years old. It's fun stuff. And after that was Simple Plan fan fiction, because that's my favorite band. Always has been, always will be. And so I wrote about them all through high school, I want to say. And then I kind of stopped writing for a really long time, just because I wasn't, I didn't have anything that really inspired me until probably right after I married my husband, which was in 2014. I'd tried a little bit of writing, but I didn't have anything that I was just like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this. It was just more like, ugh. I even tried doing writing prompts, I think, on Reddit, and I was still just like, I don't like any of this. And then, so right after that was, that's when I started, I'd been watching The Vampire Diaries. That's what it was. And that's kind of what, that's kind of what got me to start writing again was The Vampire Diaries. And then after watching Vampire Diaries, I started watching True Blood. And so I didn't write too much. I didn't write Vampire Diaries fan fiction. I wrote Ian Somerhalder fan fiction because he's amazing and I love him. And same thing with True Blood. I didn't write True Blood. I wrote Alexander Skarsgård, and I love him too. And then the supernatural stuff started with this big fan fiction that I haven't put out yet because it's frankly not ready. And it's the big monster one. That's what I call it. It's the title is Off the Beaten Path I Reign, which is just directly from the Metallica song Anywhere I Roam, or wherever I may roam. That's the song. And so that's my big fan fiction that I've been working on for 3 years. I don't know. But that's the one that I'm excited for you guys to read. But then, so I write obsessively, and then where the majority of my writing gets done? Right here on my phone. And my parents always tease me because they see me typing so fast, and my dad just goes, type faster. And I'm just like, I'm trying. And so when I started working at the job that I have now, I work at a car dealership. And one of the girls that I'm really, really close with, she and I kind of started bonding over that. And she said that she read fan fiction. And I was like, I've been thinking about posting some of the stuff that I write. And she said, well, why don't you do it? And I was like, because nobody's going to like it. No one wants to read what I have to write. And she said, well, why don't you just put it out there? And so I went home and I talked to my husband about it, and I talked to my parents, and their general consensus was, you write all the time, so why don't you? And I was like, because nobody's going to read it. I was like, seriously, no one wants to read what I have to write. And they said, well, just put it out there, bite the bullet, put it out there. And if they don't like it, well, they don't like it. And I mean, they literally dragged me kicking and screaming to post on Tumblr. And so it was a lot of encouragement. And so then that's when I put out When Love and Hate Collide, the first chapter, which is Sinner. And then much to my surprise, everybody liked it. And they were like, we want more. And I was like, okay, and kind of got addicted to it from there. And then after that was, or maybe even before that, was the How Dean Reacts series that I have. That's on my master list. So if you want to go check that out, I redid the master list, completely redid the master list last night. And I also added Can't Resist You. That was the one I did the one I posted this morning. Yeah, I did that one this morning. And so I did that one. And then the How Dean Reacts got a lot of hits. The one that I like the most is how he reacts to being shorter than him. And it's just, and that made me laugh when I was writing it, and a bunch of other people really seemed to like that too. So I want to do more of those, but I haven't really come across anything that I felt strongly about. So, and also, if you guys have questions while I'm just sitting here talking, then feel free to ask. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. So Tumblr was where I first started. Not first started posting, but that's where I got most of the feedback. I've posted on other places before, not like Archive of Our Own or Wattpad, but I'm thinking about putting my stuff on Wattpad. So that's an idea that's floating around. Let's see. So if I'm looking down, I've got my talking points. So I'm not sitting here rambling for 20 minutes. Let's see. So how I got started on Supernatural. That's the catalyst behind my my Tumblr, behind my username, behind this T-shirt. So I moved in with my husband before we were married, and he was into the show, and because his brother got him into it, and he said, "Why don't you try the show out?" And I said, I don't want to watch this show. I said, what is it about? And he was like, so these brothers who hunt ghosts and monsters and stuff. And I said, I don't want to be scared. I don't even like scary movies. Why would I watch a show about being scared? And he said, well, why don't you just take a look at these guys? And I was like, those dudes are hot. I was like, I think I'm definitely going to watch this show. And then I've been hooked since. Dad's on a hunting trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days. That's he had me hook, line, and sinker at that point. And so that's a Supernatural. That's how my obsession with Supernatural got started. Obsession, addiction. I like addiction better. That doesn't make it sound any better. So The Walking Dead is another one of my shows that I watch. I have my main ones, which are Supernatural, The Walking Dead, and True Blood. I didn't watch True Blood until it was long over with, and Vampire Diaries. I actually quit watching it, and I need to watch the last season, but I don't want to. It's going to make me sad. And The Walking Dead. That's another one. I love The Walking Dead. Oh my god, I love The Walking Dead. I didn't get into The Walking Dead until 2013, which is I think when season 3 started, when they were in the prison. And because yeah, it was 2013, and I remember that because my oldest nephew, I have two nephews. The oldest one was born in 2013, and my sister and her husband moved in with me and my parents, and they were watching The Walking Dead. So they were just like, "You guys are gonna love the show. Let's watch it." And so we started watching it, and then it's filmed here in Atlanta. Well, it was at that point, but it's not in Atlanta anymore. It's in this small town called Sonoya. That's like, how far is that from me? That's like an hour and a half from me. And same thing with Vampire Diaries, because I was actually an extra on the Vampire Diaries. If you go to, I think the episode's called Founders Day. If you look when the female mayor is doing she's doing her speech and she's up on a platform, if you look right in front of her, there's a redhead. That's me. So if you happen to see that episode, that's the back of my head. And my brother was in a couple, and that's how I got started doing it. So in my very first car was actually in the background shot of that, and that shows it was filmed not too far from where I live. So I've been to Mystic Falls a couple of times, and eaten at Mystic Grill a few times, and they have a drink that's called the Vampire Bite, and it's delicious. So if you're ever down this way and you get a chance to do that, and definitely stop in. And I'm drinking wine right now. And so let's see. Vampire Diaries got started. Okay, Kat just asked, favorite supernatural character other than Dean or Sam? Let's see. My favorite, Charlie. Charlie's one of my favorites, and Bobby is another one of my favorites. Rufus always, I love Rufus. Rufus is who I aspire to be when I'm really old. Let's see, who's another one? I really liked Ellen, and I didn't really much care for Jo. She rubbed me the wrong way. Let's see, who else? Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. And then a couple of the people that I've gotten into the show have all said that, you and Charlie look just alike. And I'm just like, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. So that was a pleasant surprise. So yeah, those are a few of my favorites. And then Kat, yeah, everybody loves Cass. That should be a show. Cross country adventures of Jack and Cass, and have it be titled "Everybody Loves Cass." Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about Vampire Diaries. That's what it was. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say about the Vampire Diaries. And some of the other shows I'm into. Outlander, that's another one that I'm into. My mom and I just got finished watching the whole series again, I think for like the third time. But if you've never seen that, it's really, really good. It's the synopsis is that this woman, Claire, gets she's in post-World War II Scotland on a second honeymoon with her husband, and she goes to this, I don't want to say it's a natural park, but she goes to this site. It's called Craignadoon, and she puts her hands on one of the stones, and she falls through the stone and ends up in 18th century Scotland. And things happen. She falls in love, and it's so good. Like, that show is awesome. And from what I understand, Jared and Genevieve watched that show because I saw her Instagram live, and she said that they watch Outlander and The Crown, and that's another one of my favorite shows is The Crown. I haven't finished the second season yet. We should get on that. So, and then I can talk about why Dean's my favorite. Like I said, he had me hooked from Dad's on a Hunting Trip, and he hasn't been home in a few days. He also reminds me a lot of my husband, and he and Dean just kind of are a lot. They're a lot alike. Except my husband's a lot shorter than Jensen is. So They both just kind of have similar personalities. But Dean's a bigger car guy than my husband is. My husband likes cars, but not as much as Dean does. Let's see what else. Just the way that he genuinely cares about the people that he's helping, and in the case that he's working on, his passion for what he does had me hooked. And he's not bad to look at either. Not bad is an understatement. Because I think, it was Route 666 when because my husband and I were watching it together, and I was just like, oh, finally Dean's getting laid. And he goes, Dean's always getting laid. I was just like, not up until now. And then just kind of watching Dean evolve through the seasons. And then I think my favorite kind of story arc for him was the beginning of season 10, where we got to see Dean and Dean. Dean and Dean. Which I think is most people's reaction to Dean and Dean. I wanted to see more of that, just like, because it was still Dean, but he didn't have the weight of the world on his shoulders. He didn't have, John's voice in his head telling him, you're not doing enough. You're not taking care of Sam like you should be. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. And it was just getting to see Dean just do whatever he wanted to do. And that was refreshing. But I've got to say that episode, me too. I really wanted more than 3 episodes of Dean and Dean. He was fun, honestly. And then I've said this a couple of times. It's like, what did Dean and Dean do that was really so bad, other than sing "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred? He didn't do anything that was that bad. He punched some guy that really deserved it. He stabbed some D-bag because he really had it coming. I mean, come on, Dean and Dean wasn't that bad. I mean, he didn't kill anybody, didn't have it coming. And same thing when he kicked the crap out of Cole. It's like Cole came to him first, I want more. Dean and Dean is probably why I read so much of the fan fiction, because it's just like he just, it's still Dean, but he just, plus the hair, a hair on Dean and Dean, and that red shirt of sex. Just, Oh, funny story about the red shirt. So my husband recently switched positions at his job, and he said something along the lines of, I need a Carhartt shirt for work, and that's the same brand as the red shirt. So I'm totally thinking about buying him the red shirt. He wouldn't know what it was for, and because maybe he would. Well, he's seen season 10. He hasn't seen season 13, so he's caught up until season. He missed. That's not true. He's seen some of season 13. I think he stopped watching because he had to, excuse me. Yeah, it is a must-have, definitely. Yeah, he won't know that it's the burgundy shirt of sex or the red shirt of sex. I'm just going to give it to him and say, here, honey, have this red Carhartt shirt. And he's just going to be like, it's red. And I'm really like, but I like it. And then he'll wear it. I don't know why he puts up with me. Let's see. So we can go down my list of favorite episodes. Like I said, first 3 episodes of season 10 were, and Paper Moon. I loved Paper Moon. And for the sole reason of Game Warden Dean. Oh, good night. Oof. As soon as him and Sam walked in those uniforms, I was like, I think I even asked my mom, I was like, can game wardens arrest people? Because let's see. Yellow Fever is another favorite. Baby is a favorite. Changing Channels. Let's see. let's see, Tombstone from this season, and Tombstone Scooby Natural was a good one. I had a bad day at work. Like I think like a few days after that episode came out, so I pulled up the CW app and I put that on to make myself feel better. Just because, oh god, that was a bad day. And I was like, I need something to cheer me up. You know what's going to cheer me up? Scooby Natural is what's going to cheer me up. So that's what I did. And those are the ones. Weekend at Bobby's. Weekend at Bobby's is another favorite. And let's see. I liked a lot. I liked the earlier seasons because they were a lot darker and a lot grittier. I mean, but also in that same thread, this show's gotten better the longer it's been on. But I kind of miss that the darker, sort of grittier side of Sam and Dean, and seeing their interactions with John. Because, can't be honest, I was kind of hoping that maybe it was going to be John that possessed Dean at the end of this season, though it doesn't make any sense now knowing what we know now. But I just kind of thought, because somebody on Tumblr had pointed out that everybody got to face their abusers this season. Rowena and Sam got to face Lucifer, and Cass got to face Naomi. And it's like, well, what if Dean finally got the chance to confront John? That would be interesting. I want to see that at some point. That'd be great. And I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan has even said that John would come back at some point, which please do. I can't get enough Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I didn't realize how many things that he was in until I started watching, until he came on The Walking Dead. That's what it was. And I kept telling my mom that I was like, oh my God, it's John freaking Winchester. And she was like, huh? Who's John Winchester? And I was like, Sam and Dean's dad. Hello. What's your last name? Come on, Mom. And she didn't get it. And then when Negan made his big entrance and fucked up everything, she was like, I hate him so much. I was like, I hate him too, but I also kind of want to kiss him. Should I make out with him and then punch him in the face, or punch him in the face and then make out with him? I don't know. I haven't decided. And so, okay. Favorite ships. Let's talk favorite ships. I like Ellen and Bobby together. I've always liked them together. I thought they'd be great. Sam and Elin. All aboard the Sam Lean. I love them so much. They made me so happy. My theory is that they were totally hooking up before she was killed off, and that made me so sad. I cried. Yes. Dinner time for me. See you on Tumblr land. Bye, wayward nerd. Enjoy your dinner. Let's see. Who's another one? Or what's another one? I really liked Cass and Hannah together. Who else? I'm trying to think. I don't have any Dean ships. I'm sorry. I liked him and Cassie together. Not Cass. No, I don't ship Destiel. Not my cup of tea. So, not my thing. But yeah, him and Cassie were great. I didn't like Lisa. I don't know too many people who do like Lisa. And let's see who else. Castiel and Hannah. Yeah, they were great. Let's see. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we can talk about how I felt about the finale. It was so many mixed feelings about the finale. I mean, it was great. I thought it was great. I didn't like the fight scene though between Michael and Lucifer. I mean, they made it sound like it was going to be a WrestleMania headliner, and it was more like The Matrix. If The Matrix had like half the budget that it had to start with. I was not a fan of the flying and wasn't my favorite thing. However, I did like when Dean showed up, and you get to see him just go like this, and then yeah, it was really cheesy. I didn't appreciate that, because it's like, don't disrespect our boys like that. But when he got to show off his wings, it was just like, because I was just like, oh, because I was already upset because he was going to let Michael possess him, and it's just like, come on, these angels are D-bags. Why are the demons more willing to keep their bargains than the angels are? But I was like, this isn't going to end well, but well, let's just see where it goes. We know why he's doing it, so it's fine. But I like that he got to show the wings. That was awesome. Like, that was choice. And the part where Sam helped. The only thing I'm worried about, I think, in the next season is like, because Lucifer put his hand on Dean's forehead, and like, there was light coming out of his eyes and mouth, which usually means you're going to be you're being smited, or he's smiting you. I'm not sure about the proper English on that one. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Dean not being the same, or being really, really hurt when he finally gets when he finally does eject Michael. That's what I'm worried about. You don't exactly go to the hospital for being smited, or it's not, And but then when he said, we had a deal, that broke my heart, because we should have known. He should have known, especially after what Gadriel / Ezekiel did to Sam, taking Sam for a ride, and Lucifer, and just, angels are dicks. I respect the demons more than I respect the angels. At least Crowley ran hell pretty well, which makes you wonder how hell's going now that they don't have a king. So, and then what I want to see next season, obviously I want to see him get rid of Michael and kick Michael's ass. That'd be great. Somebody keep that Archangel Blade handy. And I really wanted to bring back Gabriel. I miss Gabriel. He was great. And we just got him back, for God's sake. That hurt me. Some magazines got thrown across my house after that. Let's see. Okay. So we can talk about the stuff I have in the works if we want to do that. One thing that I was going to start was it's like a 1940s based kind of thing, like post World War II, with Medic Dean, because I love that. So I'm starting to work on that, and then we've got the epilogue for part 6 and the epilogue for His Good Girl, which I'm so happy you guys like, because I wasn't sure how well it was going to go over, so I'm glad it's as well received as it has been. Let's see, and then we've got part 2 for Hot for Teacher, and part 3 coming, and I'm not sure if I'll continue it after that. I'll just have to see how it goes. Let's see, and I'm gonna buckle down and get Off the Beaten Path I Reign going, because that's my child. That's the one that I'm the most proud of. That's the one I've put the most work into. That I've rewatched and taken notes for episodes, and just I put so much into those characters. And so obviously we've got Sam and Dean, and it's going to center around this hunter who her name is Catelyn, and she and Dean are going to be together, but it's going to be, there's a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot that goes into their relationship, and I'm really excited for you guys to read it, because I wrote part 1 and sent it to a couple of my friends, and then I wrote part 2, and I'm more confident about chapter 2 than I am chapter 1. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited about Catelyn and Dane. I ship them so hard. They're my characters. I ship them so hard. But she's a semi-retired hunter, and then she meets Sam and Dean, and she kind of gets she has her normal life, and then she gets pulled back into it, and yeah, it just kind of goes from there. And it takes place during season. It starts in season 9 and goes into season 12, and that's where I'm going to wrap it up for that one. But then I also have some little like blurbs for season 13. It's not going to be part of Off the Beaten Path Irene. It's going to be like travels, for each episode, like, if Catelyn was there, what would have happened. So I'm excited for the blurb for Scooby Natural. That one it's making me laugh just thinking about it. If you're hearing barking, it's because my dogs are in the house right now. We have 3 dogs. And so that's what I have coming down the pipe. Let's see. That's really about it, unless you guys have some more questions or anything else that you want to know about me. Kind of dogs. Well, we have 4 at the house right now. We have our 3 dogs, and then one is my sister's dog. My sister's dog is a Chihuahua. His name is Toby. We've got our big dog. He's a Lab Husky mix. He's all white with amber eyes, and his name is Scout, but we call him Scout Ghost because he looks like Ghost from Game of Thrones. That's another one of my favorite shows. Oh my God, I love Game of Thrones. Oh my God, I love Game of Thrones. And then we've got the medium-sized dog who she is a pit mix. Her name is Gracie. And then we've got our Yorkie Poo, she's a Yorkie Poodle mix, and her name is Molly. She is she's a little shaggy mop of black hair with brown eyes. She is so cute. Oh my goodness. She makes me aggressive with how cute she is. Yep, those are the dogs. The dojas. That's what my brother likes to say. And yeah, that's my dogs. We had a cat, but we don't have her anymore. That was mine and my husband's child. I won't even put it in air quotes. She was our child. Yeah, her name was Derpy Hooves, and if you don't know, that's from My Little Pony. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat of how it was spelled. Hoover. No, her name was Derpy Hooves. Derpy Hooves. Derpy Hooves. Because it's the wrong thing. I love talking about my cat. I'm not a cat person. I had decided a long time ago that I was not a cat person because my husband had this cat who hated me. And I tried to be nice to this cat. I really did. And this cat didn't like me. This cat and I didn't get along. And she ended up passing away. And we went to PetSmart to go scope out getting me a guinea pig because I've always wanted a guinea pig. And my husband, who is a crazy cat man, I've mentioned him a couple times on Tumblr. His name's Lord Winchester. So he's the crazy cat man. So whenever we go to PetSmart, we have to go see the cats. So I was like, I don't want to go see the cats. I don't want to see cats. I don't like cats. And so we wander over there, and there was this gray and white. She had like all these stripes on her. She's gray, white, and black at the tip of her tail. And she had these giant blue cross eyes. And that's when I started getting into My Little Pony, which is another show that I like. Judge me how you want. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is where it's at. And she was cross-eyed, and she looked like Derpy Hooves on the My Little Pony. And I was like, this is the cutest cat I've ever seen in my life. And she was so sweet. Oh, she was so cute. And I was like, if we had this cat, I would name her Derpy Hooves. And so we left, and then I had started a different job at that point. And when I was supposed to be doing my training, all I could think about was, oh, I wonder how Derpy's doing. And no, that's not my cat. No, stop thinking about the cat. Don't think about the cat. And then that Thursday, I was sitting there eating my lunch, and I was talking to my husband on the phone, and I was like, I keep thinking about that cat that we saw. And he was like, yeah, I've been thinking about her too. And I was like, I think we should adopt her. I think she belongs with us. And he was like, yeah, I think so too. And I was like, I'm going to get in touch with PetSmart and see about getting her adopted. So they passed along her foster mom's information to me, and I got in touch with the foster mom, and the foster mom said if she wasn't adopted before Saturday, that we could have her. And so that Saturday, I was just like, I think I'm gonna go get her. I was telling my roommate at the time, I was like, I think I'm gonna go get her. And so we got in the car and we went. Sure enough, she was still there. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get the cash out of the ATM, and we're gonna adopt this cat. So I paid the adoption fee, and then I had to go home and go get the cat carrier because I didn't come prepared to bring home a cat. And our living situation at that time was my husband and I lived in a house with another couple and two single guys. So it's 6 people in a house. So we the other roommates kind of came with us, and I put her in the cat carrier, and I took her upstairs, and my husband worked nights at the time, so he was still asleep. And I came in and I was holding her, and I was like, look who came to live with us. And he was like, oh, she's here. And that's when she and I started bonding. And yeah, we had her for 2 years, and yeah, she was a sweetheart. She made me into a cat person. Somebody left because I was talking about my cat too much. So, but yeah, she passed away about a year ago, and she hadn't been doing very well. She wasn't doing well when we adopted her. She had hypothyroidism, so she was kind of a high maintenance cat, and she was going into they had said that her kidneys weren't functioning like they were supposed to. So they recommended that we do this kidney flush, which just means putting fluid under her, like putting a needle under her skin, and using an IV bag to pump fluid into her body so that she can kind of, flush out all the bad stuff. So we did that, and she was not a happy cat when that was all said and done. But so she did fine, and then she wasn't acting like herself, and she wasn't eating, which I mean wasn't super uncommon, but I mean she was always super hungry. And then I put down warm chicken, and she wouldn't eat that, and I mean she'd tear across the house to get to some warm chicken. And that's when I took her to the vet, and the vet was like, she's going into full-blown renal failure. And I was like, can we do the fluids under the skin? And again, like, you've already done it. Can we do it again? And he's like, we could, but you're staving off the inevitable. So we're looking at a quality quantity question. And so that's when we had to make the decision to let her go. And that was really hard on both of us because, I mean, like I said, that was like my child. When I didn't have a job, I lost my job, and or when my hours were cut back, and I was working 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week. And she was there through everything, and she was my child, and having to let her go the way I did was very hard on me. But she's not in pain anymore, and I have her ashes, which is what I wanted. So her ashes sit on my vanity downstairs. That's where I get ready. This is my office where I'm streaming from. This is where my computer is. This is behind my highly sophisticated background. There is my television, and then I'm in bed over there to sleep when my husband's snoring. It's out of control. But yeah, she's gone, and I miss her, and hopefully we'll get to adopt another cat or kittens. I always wanted kittens because my husband told me I could have 2 cats, or I could have 2 kittens, and I could name them Sam and Dean, and then I get a big dog, and I'm going to name him Crowley. So I'm really excited about that. But does anybody have any more questions? Because I think I'm going to start wrapping this up so I can either watch some more Outlander or get something to eat. Hopefully this hasn't been too crazy or too redundant. It's my first live stream. I've never live streamed before. This is fun, I guess. But yeah, if nobody has any more questions, I'm probably gonna give it a few more minutes. I'll give it another minute or so. Keep drinking, I guess. Thank you, Kat. I'm drinking Barefoot Moscato, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. And my cup says more booze, please. It's, you know. My best friend got me that. They got me these as a set. Yes, it is delicious. Oh, so funny story about that. Because near where I live, there's a liquor store, and if you buy a case, you get a case discount, right? So as we all, I mean, if you don't know, they're like those big bottles of wine. There's like 4 glasses in that big bottle, and then the little bottles is like 2. So depending on how bad my day has been. Thanks for sharing. Oh, thank you, Barcelona Barcelonis. Thank you. And if you check out my Instagram or my Twitter, my Instagram handle is lady_Winchester 1967 writes. And my Twitter handle is LadyWin67. It has links to my Tumblr if you want to go check that out. That's where all my writing is. And so, okay, yeah, the wine. So I buy it by the case, just that way I'm not in the liquor store every other day or so, just depending on how bad my day has been. And so I've been getting it by the case for a while. And then I couldn't, this particular time, they didn't have a case sitting out. And I was like, crap. I was like, I have to go ask for help from other humans, which is not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. So I grab 1 bottle and I go to the counter and I tell the man, I set it on the counter and I'm just like, I want a case of this. And thank you. And I was like, I want a case of this. And he rings up the 1 bottle and he gives me the price for the 1 bottle. I said, no, I want a case. And he tells me the price of the 1 bottle. And I said, no, I want a case of this. And he's like, a case? And I'm just like, I know what I'm about, sir. So I was just like, wow, I feel so judged right now. But I was like, I don't think you recognize the seriousness of the situation I find myself in. It's been a long day at work today. I got Supernatural season finale tonight. I'm going to need more than 1 bottle. So, I love my Tumblr too. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm pleasantly surprised at how many people actually want to read what I have to write. I was totally convinced no one was gonna read it, and I was like, if I get 5 people, I'd be happy. Five people would make me happy, and I have over 160, and I'm totally blown away because it's just like I mean, I've been writing forever, and getting the positive feedback and getting the response that I've been getting is just, it's so sweet and so humbling. And I so appreciate it. It, like, you guys have no idea what this means to me. And it's so nice. And all the friends that I've made, I've got my squad. I love the squad. They're great. There's Wayward Baby and Wayward Nerd. She was in here earlier. She's gone right now. And we've got, I have my squad list right here on my phone. I don't want to miss anybody. I would be upset if I didn't give the squad a shout out. So it's squad, and Family Business Writing Bro, she's awesome. And then we've got Ain't Bothered, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then Miss Whoosie Whatsits, The Clever Fox, Boba She Baby is a new one, and Emery Hemsworth is another another member of the squad. So, and just we're always tagging each other in super inappropriate stuff, and they're a hoot and a half, and I'm just so happy that I've finally gotten to put out there what I write, and that people like it, and it really seemed to like the smut, which is nice, because I wasn't sure that what I wrote was up to par, but everybody seems to like it, so that's really nice, honestly. God, I'm laughing so much, but it tickles me to think about it. Let's see. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna call it quits for tonight. So if you want, we can do this again at some point, and make some new friends. Like I said, all my social media handle is Lady Winchester 67, and all across it is the Powerpuff Girl icon, which she looks exactly like me, and this is what I look like. So, I haven't posted a picture of myself on my Tumblr, just my chest the other night, because I had on my Supernatural shirt and I was watching 10-Inch Hero, which was great. But yeah, we can do this again another time if you guys want. Keep an eye out for his Good Girl Part 6 and the epilogue, and then we've got Hot for Teacher Part 2 coming out. And like I said, I'm going to crack down and get Off the Beaten Path Irene ready to go. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this, and that you'll tune in next time when I decide to do another live stream. And, keep being awesome, keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. Feel free to send me a message on any of my social media if you have any requests or anything that you want me to write or you want me to talk about. Feel free to send me a message on Tumblr. But have a good night. Bye, guys.